Moves them into the top four, albeit at the early stage, but it's only 12 matches, the W League. Important to start well. Here's Courtney Vine tiptoeing her way down this right-hand edge, and she is going to be very dangerous for Sydney tonight. She scored in that opening round derby win, the opening goal, and she's already won a free kick inside 90 seconds.
Well, she's a handful, Courtney Vine, real handful. There's plenty of speed, a great eye for goal, and you look the way the Wanderers have to counter this tonight. They look over their shoulders at either flank, and it's quite daunting. Abini down one side and Vine down the other.
So the captain, Polias, good delivery to the back post, and it was Ellie Brush who probably should have at least put it on target and given Courtney Newbon a bit of work to do.
Well, it's a beautiful free kick from Polias, and she rises well. Brush, good contact. Just can't find the ultimate control on that header, unfortunately for her. Very, very strong. Wins the contest clearly, and be disappointed she didn't steer that into the goal.
She did score in Sydney's home derby win last year against Wanderers. She almost was at it again there last year in round 12 at Cromer Park. There's a free kick going the Sky Blues' way. That was actually her only goal of the season. Chloe Middleton just giving that away. Ali Green to Nat Tobin. And now Brush. You won't miss her tonight with the bright boots. Sliding it up the line for McLean. Her pass just misguided. 20-year-old who played for Sydney Olympic during the NPL season. Also debuted in the W League in round one in the Sydney Derby. It's incredible the amount of players on both sides that actually debuted in a Sydney Derby. There's 10. Of course, 4 of the Wanderers who will play tonight made their debut in that round one clash. But for Sydney, 5 in previous seasons. So incredible how that's worked out. There's Galea up and over the top, looking for the run of Julianne Russell. Ali Green with some defensive work to do. And another former Wanderer, Jada Wyman, works that one over the sideline. She spent 4 seasons at the club, 35 matches. Made the move to the Sky Blues this year after an injury-riddled couple of years. Russell has done well here to win her side a corner.
Yeah, very well done from the Wanderers. And energy off the ball, pressurising the Sydney players, has won the corner.
Well, this would be just the start thereafter, Western Sydney, if they could nab a goal inside the opening 5 minutes. Courtney Nevin standing over the set piece, the left footer. She's going to hover it towards Galea at the back post. Charging after it is Caitlin Cooper. She'll track it down. Copus Brown, her pass intercepted by Seamson. And now Abini, who scored that double in the opening Sydney Derby of the season. Hawkesby can get it past Matos down the left. Another free kick going the Sky Blues' way.
Plenty of vim and vigour from the Wanderers early. Overstepping the mark, Menakamis there. But it's the attitude to try and win the ball back, which has been impressive to start this one from the Wanderers.
Matos turned around. She'll calmly let it roll over the byline. As Courtney Nevin gets set for this goal kick up. So I just want to touch on goals scored from outside the box this season in the W League. It's been an incredible start to the year. 11 of the 28 before this round started were scored outside the box. Through the first 3 rounds last season, only 2 were scored outside the box. So that shows you the spectacular strikes we've seen this season. Very much unprecedented. And it'd be difficult to pick the best. We saw Rachel Lowe, Taylor Ray from Sydney last week, Grace Maher, Katrina Gorry as well from Brisbane. So let's hope we get some more where that came from tonight in the derby.
Also that injury time bomb from, is it Nicoletta Flannery for Canberra, just to add to that little collection.
How good was that goal as well to win all 3 points? Here's Courtney Vine pinching the ball for Sydney FC. Hawkesby unmarked in the box. Caitlin Cooper has done well.
Well, Courtney Vine suggesting she was unfairly impeded there. I tend to agree. She sizes up the defender, knocks it past the defender. Defender keeps going on the run and bowls her over. I don't know why an attacker is penalised in that situation.
Just shows you that the Wanderers are on red alert when Courtney Vine's on the ball. A goal and an assist already this season. Now Western Sydney trying to link up down the right. Copus Brown and Julianne Russell. Those two played against each other in the WPL, I should say the NPLW Grand Final in New South Wales this season. Ellie Brush rolling that one over the line. Russell. Has she done enough to win a corner? She hasn't. Well done by Ali Green. Sydney's left fullback has done a fair bit of defensive work already tonight, but it was at the other end of the ground where she was so dangerous last week. And Julianne Russell, there she is, Ali Green. Part of the Manly side who won the grand final. And she was part of the defeated side, Julianne Russell from Sydney Uni. Here she is on the ball again. Linking up down the right with the run of Matos. Olivia Price keeping Hawkesby at arm's length. She's done well. Beaten a few and then looks for the bottom corner. Just pushes it wide, but enterprising stuff there from a player who spent 3 years at Sydney FC.
Yeah, very positive rate out of midfield. Gets rid of 2 players. And in Hawkesby and Polias, 2 of Sydney's better performances, but Price steamed past both of them, and it was a tantalising effort to the far post.
There's Dean Heffernan, the Wanderers coach. Did also play for Wanderers in the A-League, but never played in a Sydney derby. His assistants, though, have countless experience. Kath Canuli, Michael Beecham and Ante Kovic played many Sydney derbies down the years. Middleton able to control that to a teammate. And Ante Juric, this is his 4th season as Sydney FC head coach. 3 grand final appearances. Probably the one blemish there, if there is a blemish, is the fact they haven't been able to nab a Premier's plate. Just the consistency through the regular season hasn't quite been there for Sydney under Ante's watch, but he'll be hoping to turn that around this year. Tobin looking for Seamson. 8 matches without a goal coming into tonight. And now Ali Green. Wants to call that in front of a beanie. Matos awake to the danger. Tobin onto McLean, and now Vine. Here she is stepping off the right. Dangerous, very dangerous. Copus Brown was quickly across those 2 former teammates at Newcastle, and it was Cooper again.
Well, they stood their ground well. And it's been a good start from the Wanderers. They're really strong. Courtney Vine will ask questions. Copus Brown fairly just making a presence felt, and Vine losing possession of the ball, which meant that Cooper could successfully block the run forward, block the ball.
Newbon onto the head of Lena Karmas. As Harps was saying earlier, had to come off at half-time in the first Sydney derby this season with that eye issue. So good to see her fully fit tonight. She'll have a big role to play for the Wanderers up front as Julianne Russell almost pinched it and was off down the right. They're back on the ball here, Wanderers. Really bright start for the visitors. Sydney able to snuff out the danger. Cooper. Middleton finds Sydney's coach. So 12 minutes gone in the second Sydney derby in season 13 of the W League. The 18th Sydney derby. Sydney with 14 wins, Western Sydney 2, and just the one draw as Karmas tries her luck from long range. The radar not locked on though just yet for Lena Karmas. She's second most goals in Sydney derbies with 5. That's behind Caitlin Ford, who scored 6, but all 5 of Lena's derby goals have come in sky blue. It's Wyman bouncing the goal kick over the head of Seamson. Price with a touch wide to Julianne Russell. Middleton's touch too heavy, and Police was able to pounce, but Cooper's back on the ball for Western Sydney. She'd been very proactive, their skipper. On this occasion though, McLean has done well. Well, hang on a second, it's going to be a corner.
Well, good pressure from Galea. And McLean just taking a foot off the pedal, losing a little bit of concentration. The key moment. Galea, look, chasing down the cause, putting her opponent under pressure, forcing the touch there. Good decision by the match officials.
Another opportunity from the set piece here for Western Sydney. They just try to change it up with the short passing between Nevin and Price, but it's going to go to water pretty quickly for Western Sydney. A disappointing change up there. Julianne Russell balances her time playing football with a job at Microsoft. Made the move from Ireland. She's played over 50 matches for the national side. Played at World Cups. Didn't get the chance at the last World Cup, but she made the move to Australia, but has played for the national side since the World Cup, if that makes sense.
Well, the game definitely, 15 minutes in, is a totally different scenario from game 1 of the season. And for that, you have to credit the man in screen there, Dean Heffernan, and his team. The Wanderers, a much better prospect at this point of this derby than they were game 1. There's just a real bite about them. There's energy across the field, snappy in the tackle. Even there, looking at Lena Karmas trying to charge Tobin down. It's provided a good platform so far. Although I think they've gotten away with one there. Looks to be adjudged to a foul. Didn't quite see it. She's a little bit incredulous as well. Fair steal of the ball.
So do you think Sydney FC have come out a little flat tonight, Harps?
No. I think on balance, it's the Wanderers who've found some extra form. The win last week would have helped them, or the last start win against Newcastle. In fact, both these teams' last starts were victories against the Jets.
And the Jets in action tomorrow against Brisbane Roar, 6 p.m. or just after 6:30. It is at McDonald Jones Stadium. This ball just knocked up the line, looking for the run of Julianne Russell. We'll go over the sideline, and Tara Rushton's sideline for us. Good evening, Tara. How are the conditions pitch side?
Yeah, beautiful conditions down here, Benny. What a gorgeous evening it is, and great to see so many fans that are here still at Stadium Australia to watch this Sydney derby, the second, of course, for the season. And you've got to say, you've mentioned it in the commentary as well, the Western Sydney Wanderers much more resolute. I spoke to Libby Copus-Brown just this week, and she said, look, you know, they just gave their opposition, the Sydney FC, too much respect in their opening game, and they needed to press and defend more. I'll let this moment play out, though.
Here's Julianne Russell. Speeding away, and then the cross goal. Karmas almost spilled by Jada Wyman. Yeah, thanks, Tara. The pitch looks immaculate. I was down there pre-match. They're putting the sprinklers on. It looks beautiful.
Well, certainly Sydney, in the face of this re-energised Wanderers, are finding it difficult to get into any sort of rhythm.
If you want...
Here's Brush. Dinked up and over the top for the run of Seamson, but up comes the flag. She looked to be a long way in front of the furthest Wanderer defender.
Yeah, clearly offside. And you mentioned the goal drought. Well, he didn't use those terms, but that's what it represents for Remy Seamson. But to say it's not a reflection of the way she's been playing generally. She's been in good form, playing some really constructive, smart football.
Hawkesby trying to find Courtney Vine, and Copus-Brown takes the ball back for Western Sydney. Russell on the swivel and turn, using that overlapping run of Matos, but Princess Abini getting back and doing the hard yards defensively and winning a throw.
Oh, it was a good recovery from Abini, but sticking to the job was Danica Matos. And again, with that endeavour, they force a throw for Sydney, deep in Sydney's territory, and now can crowd the area out, make it very difficult for Sydney to play out of that space. They're slightly assisted by this deflection, which has awarded them another throw.
So Green up the line onto the head of Price. And now Russell curling it across. Galea was rising, and Wyman out to take it comfortably in the end.
She's a real goer, Rosie Galea. It's a really difficult skill to try and execute the ball flying in flat round about the edge of the penalty area. But still, she backed herself not only to win the contest, but get the ball towards goal.
It's an interesting story, Rosie Galea, previously with Canberra in the 18-19 season, then Wanderers since 2019. Just one match in each of the last two seasons. Came off the bench in round one against Sydney and then started against the Jets. So she's got 4 W League matches total and now 2 goals after those couple she netted against the Jets. So a great start to her W League career after not really getting much of a chance in the previous 2 seasons. Space again for Wanderers down the right. Copus-Brown trying to hook it across, but only found the roof of the netting.
Well, it's great to see Libby Copus-Brown playing in such an advanced position. It's disappointing to see her rush things when she was in possession so deep in the danger zone. Very, very talented player. Very important for Wanderers if they're going to do anything.
Sydney have done really well to play out there. They've unlocked Western Sydney, and now it allows Courtney Vine some free pastures down the right-hand edge. Look out for Taylor Ray. We saw what she did last week against the Jets. Difficult angle, though, from White out on the right. She finds McLean. Tobin. And now Brush. Tobin's just trying to place it over the top for the run of Ray. And now Hawkesby trying to pinch it back. The South Coast product, Mackenzie Hawkesby. She's back on the ball again. She's been really busy for Sydney FC in the heart of midfield this season. Has not looked out of place at all, and this just her 11th match in the W League. Tobin angling the pass towards Vine. Well cut out by Courtney Nevin, the very experienced Courtney Nevin at just 18 years of age. 25 W League matches already for her. There's another free kick going Sydney's way. Pretty even thus far. Wanderers conceding the 4 free kicks. Sydney just a couple. So Polias trying to pick out a beanie here. She's got a bit of a free run at that back post to beanie, not marked up at the moment. And Polias get it there towards the middle of the pack, and Fine was there. Now Ray returns it to her captain. Polias just leathering it, and difficult one for Newbon. And a handball awarded against Sydney FC. Seamson doesn't entirely agree with it, it seems.
I think it was more the challenge on the keeper, Ben. Just inside that 6-yard box, its ball's hanging up there. Seamson adjudged the arm slightly raised, but any contact with the keeper inside that 6-yard box invariably goes the way of the defending team.
I think you'll see it strikes her right arm just on the way down. So I thought initially it was for keeper contact, but Kelly Jones signalled handball. It was just on the way down. A bit unlucky against Seamson. She didn't know much about it, but fair call in the end. Just over the halfway mark in this first half in the Sydney derby. Well, that was a head clash between Tobin, maybe the shoulder into the head of Lena Karmas. Matt Tobin incredulous, but I'll have a look back at that. That was pretty strong contact.
Yeah, Lena Karmas is ironed out there. Didn't win the ball, collects the player, hence the free kick. I agree with the decision. Strong start to the season for Natalie Tobin as well. Great centre partnership with central defender Ellie Brush. Is Ralston still on the long-term injury list for Sydney?
Here's the free kick from Nevin. Karmas attempting the flick on. Yeah, very consistent last year, Nat Tobin for Sydney FC. Just saw Karmas trying to flick it towards goal. Awaiting her first W League goal in Wanderers colours in a Sydney derby. And just to finish on Nat Tobin, very consistent year last year, 11 appearances for the former junior and young Matilda. Now Hawkesby. Vine. Can she step onto that right? We've seen what she's done with that in the past. Scored a goal of the season from that kind of angle. Now she cuts it across goal, and Newbon good enough to smother it and control it.
Well, the Courtney derby's been a feature. Courtney Vine versus Courtney Nevin. And just great defending here. Excellent body position, really quick feet, blocking the route to goal, shepherding the opponent down, gets the ball in, but the keeper's comfortable at the near post, or should be, as Newbon was. It's a great battle between the two Courtneys on the near touchline.
And then the Courtney in goals making the save to finish it all off.
That's a Courtney-a-thon.
The one thing they may debate, Nevin and Vine, is how you spell Courtney. Different spellings. Cooper returns it to Courtney Newbont. Second season with Western Sydney this year. Was part of the Sydney Uni side who won the premiership in the NPL this season in New South Wales. Now round the corner, attempted just to be rolled into the path of Middleton by Galea. My question for you, Harps, is can Ellie Brush usurp Polkinghorne or Kennedy?
Well, on this form, yes, but we're not, well, certainly against the Polkinghorne, who started great for Brisbane. But Ellie Brush is defended very, very strongly. She'd have to be in consideration on the evidence of the first few weeks of the W League, that's for sure. That's just my opinion, of course. No doubt new coach will be, even from his geographically disadvantaged position, poring over all the evidence. And I think Ellie Brush has staked a good claim for consideration as a minimum.
I think the big decision, which really makes her stand out even more, is the fact she said, I'm not going to play in the AFLW this season, I'm going to focus on football. And that should take her even further into Matilda's reckonings, just because she's got more time to devote to football.
Well, she's got great experience. She's a wonderful athlete, fierce competitor. And she's got the world to conquer, not just Australia. So good on her. We support the move. Wish her all the best. Competition will be tight for those Matildas places. There's obviously the Olympics, hopefully this year. Tokyo in a bit of trouble at the moment, as many places are. But then there's the World Cup on Australian and New Zealand soil not long after. So why wouldn't the girls have complete focus? And Brush has started well, with full credit to her.
Second best defence in the competition coming into this one. Sydney FC conceding just the once, that goal against Tara Andrews and Newcastle last Friday. Vine will flick up and over the top of Copus Brown. Taking on Galea, who's coming back to do the defensive work.
But, you know, whilst we're throwing up national team candidates, I'd love to know where Courtney Vine sits in the pecking order, because she is a box of tricks down the near touchline. The defender's nightmare, because usually she's so positive, very direct. She's got a good eye for goal as well.
Tobin over the top for that woman you were just talking about, Courtney Vine, squaring it up. Seamson. And now Hawkesby. Seamson swivels back on the ball. Here's Taylor Ray just stabbing it wide to Vine.
Well, that's an excellent little shuffle there by Chloe Middleton. She covers an incredible amount of territory for the Wanderers, but she had a couple of bursts there, 3, 4, 5 metres to turn Sydney away. Edge of the box, Remy Seamson linking up with Hawkesby. It's a pretty difficult thing to defuse.
An opportunity here out of nothing really for Princess Abini. Can she provide a goal? She may do so from the penalty spot. The pressure tells on Wanderers, and the Sky Blues get a chance now.
Well, this is the threat of Princess Abini. She just sits up Matos beautifully. Just draws her into the challenge. Danica Matos, who's had a good game till now. It's a little unfair on her in that sense, but left the leg hanging. Very clumsy in the end. Put off balance by Princess Abini, who's won the penalty, but isn't going to try and convert it.
A former Wanderers squad member, Mackenzie Hawkesby, didn't play a game for them and hasn't scored in the W League until tonight.
Goal to Sydney FC, scored by number 15,
Not a bad way to open your W League account in a Sydney derby. And it's the Sky Blues who lead by 1-0. And Matos absolutely devastated.
Well, that's a really good penalty. The shades of Costa Barbarousis in the match preceding this one. The curtain raiser, if you like. In scoring for the men's team to give them the lead against the Wanderers. And so too does Hawkesby here. Goalless till now, certainly deserves a goal. She's been excellent the opening rounds of the season.
That goal brought to you by McDonald's.
First W League goal in her 11th appearance. And now the challenge for Matos is to put that behind her and put in a wonderful last hour of this one. And that's the measure of a player, isn't it, Harps? It's not testing you when things are going well. It's when you suffer a setback and how you rebound from that.
Yeah, well, the whole Wanderers team has bounced back from Derby Day 1 to get the season going. And Matos has been very, very strong in the opening half hour here. It was clearly second best in that duel with Abini to concede the penalty.
She's great friends with Chloe Middleton, Wanderers midfielder. They travel up from the South Coast together, carpooling to get to training. And I'm sure Chloe would have had some words to Danica after that goal, after giving away the penalty, just to tell her to keep her head up. Plenty of time remaining in this one. And there's plenty of players who have gone from, I wouldn't go as harsh as saying the villain, but from a villain to a hero for your club. Brush. And here's the free kick for Sydney FC. Galea had a bit to say to Kelly Jones. Well, that's not what she's unhappy about. Just going and have a chat to Julianne Russell there, the Irish international. You can just hear through the effects, Mike, a little bit of frustration creeping in as we tick into the final 11 minutes of this first half. And now Seamson has a strike on goal. Difficulty for Wanderers is the stats will tell you when Sydney score first, they are very difficult to beat. In the history of the W League, when they've scored first at home, they've lost just one of 45 matches. But stats are there to be broken. In front of Karmas. Looked better there for Western Sydney, and then Copus Brown with a direct ball forward towards Galea.
It was a good little burst from the Wanderers. Typical robustness from Lena Karmas to win possession and then set the attack. Finding Copus Brown, her ball had plenty of promise over to the far post. Not beaten yet, the Wanderers. Plenty of pluck in this team tonight.
And you may have just seen the stat come up on screen a moment ago, but shots on target is in favour of Sydney FC currently 2-0. That's where Wanderers, you feel, Harps, will Just want to turn those half chances into shots on target and put Wyman under some pressure, because she did fumble a ball earlier tonight.
Well, it was Lena Karmas, I think, firing one along the byline out the right-hand side, and Wyman fell to her left beautifully, but there was a slight fumble. Otherwise, pretty comfortable goalkeeping. But the issue for the Wanderers after this very buoyant opening half hour is now that the lead has been conceded, and how much do Sydney start getting into their swing of things? That's the big test in the short term for the Wanderers, just to make sure that Sydney don't break away in this next little mini period. They've got some good consistent possession at the moment.
Space aplenty for Courtney Vine once again, and she takes on Courtney Nevin, and Caitlin Cooper was there, almost gave it back to Vine. Now Galea, and that pass is only going to go as far as Ray and Polias. They play a neat 1-2. Easily into the arms of Newbon. Abini. Polias just finds Hawkesby. Scored her first W League goal from the penalty spot. That's the difference between the two sides at this early juncture. Simpson turning and threading the ball in behind for Vine, who beats Cooper. And she couldn't beat Courtney Nevin, who won that duel. You might have to keep score, Harps.
Well, I know it's about even, but Courtney NEE versus Courtney NEY. Sydney v Wanderer just in front on points.
It almost came off there for Sydney FC, but it was Nevin who cut out the pass from Simpson. It was neat stuff down the right.
It's a great battle in the near touchline. Vine's been really good. This is a constant threat. Here's the breakaway for her now.
Big problems here for Western Sydney Wanderers. It's a 3-on-2 at the back. Courtney Vine sums it up. Simpson off the post. And now back for Hawkesby. It cannons off the post for a second time, and then Vine puts it over. Well, when your luck's out, your luck's out. She hasn't scored in 8, and she hits the post.
Well, vacant space. Courtney Nevin caught upfield. Courtney Vine, too dangerous otherwise, and carries the ball into the danger zone, and it's just a sequence of efforts from Sydney. They can't beat the post, and then finally Courtney Vine hits the ball over. It's been a great half by the Sydney right winger. Simpson thinks, I've done enough. It's a beautiful little touch at the near post, just can't quite navigate inside that post, and then Princess Abini sets up Hawkesby going for her brace, and she hits the crossbar, and it's great action from Sydney.
I'll forgive you that little slip, Harps, because you're on double duty tonight. You called the men's game, so you got Bernie on your mind. Of course, the men's derby ending in a 1-1 draw. This one going Sydney FC's way at the moment. But remember, in the earlier match, it was a penalty that put Sydney in front. Same story here. And now Courtney Vine straight into the chest of Caitlin Cooper, maybe bounced up into her chin. And in her 60th match for Western Sydney, she's hit the deck.
Well, Courtney Vine cutting in, this time onto her left foot, right on the chin. This will take some time to assess.
Very tough, the Sydney captain. Western Sydney, I should say, formerly with Sydney FC. Caitlin Cooper, here it is again. That would not have tickled. She was with the Sky Blues in the 17-18 campaign. Caitlin Cooper, 14 appearances, 1 goal during that season, where they went all the way to the grand final. Went down to Melbourne City that year. Karmas. Not many numbers forward for Western Sydney, and they've turned it over again. The speed once again of Hawkesby. On to Abini. Can she score against the Wanderers again? No, she can't. Very well done by Matos on that occasion. She learnt from what happened previously, and she's done well. It is a corner, though, for Sydney.
Well, the Wanderers still a player down with the skipper yet to resume the field. In fact, she's not going to come back into action, Caitlin Cooper. There'll be a substitution for the Wanderers. Didn't pass the assessment from the doctor. And so they lose a player, but they lose leadership and they lose experience.
Well, the corner, meanwhile, for Sydney FC. Dangerous for the Wanderers. Karmas is after it. Now, you'd think Nicola Orgel would be the like-for-like replacement. Back from Norway. And Sydney in behind Seamson. She's wondering, what do I have to do to score?
Well, 2 efforts whilst the Wanderers are a player down. A little bit of movement on the Wanderers bench. But beautifully found was Courtney Vine, whose touch was just lovely. Received that beautifully and fell to Seamson, who pulls the ball wide. They're still on the Wanderers bench, Ben, investigating on the readiness of Caitlin Cooper to resume action.
We'll just find out if Tara Rushton has got any more information. Tara, what's the latest with Caitlin Cooper?
Yeah, they just ran down past us, and Caitlin Cooper was saying to Dean Heffernan, I'm fine, I'm good to go, I'm good to go. We know that she's such a tough cookie, the captain. She leads by example out there, so I believe she's going to be coming back on. I don't know, actually. She's making her way. No, she's actually putting on her jacket now, so I think maybe just more precautionary. I'll see if I can get some further information, but she did say to Dean, I'm fine.
Well, of all the coaches in the A-League and W-League, I think the coach with the shortest patience for potential head injury is Dean Heffernan. He will always err on the side of caution, and I applaud him for that.
Yeah, credit to it. It's going to come more and more into focus over the coming years. And Scalia trying to bend it in front of Karmas, so down to 10 and causing Sydney some issues. So it is Nicola Orgel getting ready to make her first appearance for the Wanderers in her second stint at the club. Was there between 2016 and 17, just for that season, before moving to Newcastle, and then was the Canberra captain last season. So Wanderers still not ready to make the change. Maybe they will be now. We're going to see 3 minutes of additional time in the meantime at the end of this first half. So they're going to play on in the meantime. Matos with the throw. And now Police giving McLean a little bit of running to do. And Vine just trying to wait for that ball and run with it. But Nevin was awake and almost finds Karmas. There was space down that right-hand edge if Western Sydney were good enough. Russell just a little bit slow to get up there alongside Lena Karmas.
Yeah, it's a nice ball in from Courtney Nevin. Karmas couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Can Sydney strike right on the stroke of half-time. They'll be keen for a 2-goal buffer at half-time. That will be very difficult to pull back. But remember, coming into this round, 20 of the 28 W League goals scored came in the second half. That's a pretty high percentage, so plenty of entertainment on the way in the second 45 minutes based on those statistics. Green just clipped. Kelly Jones is going to come back for the free kick. Here's the change. So Nicola Orgel back from Norway, where she spent the season with Kolbotn. She's done her 2 weeks quarantine, back training. And now in the W League again. Very experienced player for the Wanderers to have in their side. And now Courtney Vine in behind, not for the first time tonight. McLean arriving late. The throw's not going to go her way though. And now out comes a yellow card for throwing the ball away for Charlotte McLean. Her reaction told you what she thought about it. Price and Ray in a little duel. Ray a little too vigorous on that occasion. So the Sky Blues head to the sheds with the advantage in the Sydney Derby for the second time in a row this season. And it was Mackenzie Hawkesby from the penalty spot. Her first goal in the competition. And it was a beautifully taken penalty. It means at half-time at Stadium Australia, Sydney FC 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 0. And it means Sydney a step closer to continuing their domination in the Sydney Derby. 14 wins out of 17. Let's get some reaction. Toria Slater is downstairs.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Rosie, they fired a couple of warning shots at the end there, really putting you under pressure. How do you get it done in the second half?
I think we just need to really keep the ball, keep playing, moving it around. Once we move it, we're looking better. So if we can keep the ball and go forward with that, then we'll be fine.
And what did you make of that first half overall?
It was pretty good. It was a bit touch and go for us. Like I said, we just need to keep the ball. If we can keep it, we're playing over them. So just keep it and move it around and we'll be fine.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Well, we're off to a short break here live on Fox Sports, but don't go anywhere. Tara Rushton and Mark Bosnich talk all the first half action on the other side. We'll see you soon.